Tonight, WWE presents a brand new episode of WWE Monday Night Raw live on Netflix. This week, the show is going to be emanating from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the question is, as we are now getting up to close to 1 week away from WWE Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia, has Paul Triple H Levesque and his creative team got some major surprises up their sleeve for tonight's episode of Raw. In this countdown video, we're going to let you know 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on Netflix. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And as I mentioned in the intro for this video, tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw takes place at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are getting closer and closer to WWE Crown Jewel this year, taking place in Perth, Australia, as opposed to Saudi Arabia. But the build to the men's and the women's Crown Jewel Championship matches continues, and several other significant developments are expected to take place tonight live on Raw. With that being said, does Paul Triple H Levesque and his creative team have some surprises up their sleeve? We're going to let you know 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on Monday Night Raw. Let's begin with AJ Styles talking about John Cena. Of course, we do know that Crown Jewel, as I mentioned, is not that far away whatsoever. It's going to be taking place in Perth, Australia, as opposed to taking place in Saudi Arabia, where every other Crown Jewel PLE has taken place. And one of the few matches that has already been announced for the upcoming PLE is, for the last time, it will be John Cena versus AJ Styles. Now, WWE has had to be creative about how they build to this match. Why? Because they have very, very, very limited dates left on John Cena's contract before he retires in December of this year. In fact, his next date for WWE is at Crown Jewel. He's not going to be appearing on TV again until his match at Crown Jewel. Now, because of that, they had to find a creative way to build to this AJ Styles match, and they did that via social media. They had John Cena kind of play off this idea that maybe Triple H's booking and his creative plans wasn't what WWE fans wanted, and he had heard the cries that they wanted to see Cena versus Styles one more time, and he put the request out there on social media. AJ Styles said, "I accept Triple H over to you," and Triple H, being the good guy, listening to the people, listening to the WWE Universe, decided to book the match. But they've still got to build to it, and you feel like they're probably going to do that via AJ Styles, probably cutting a promo tonight. At the very least, you would expect to see a vignette hyping up their history, in particular when AJ Styles came to WWE in 2016. He and Cena faced off. AJ Styles turns heel. The rest is history. They have epic matches at the likes of SummerSlam in 2016. John Cena winning the WWE Championship for a record-tying 16th time at the Royal Rumble in 2017, defeating AJ Styles. They've got a very, very lengthy history. So you'd expect probably to see a promo at the very least from the Phenomenal One talking about the Never Seen 17 as they get closer to Crown Jewel Perth. But also AJ Styles will be in action. He's kind of got parallel storylines going on. Yes, he's got this match of John Cena coming up at Crown Jewel in Perth, but he's also still kind of a part of this Dominic Mysterio, also El Grande Americano and Los Americanos storyline. So he's actually in tag team action. He's teaming up with Dragon Lee tonight on Raw to face off against Los Americanos. That's the second and third El Grande Americano. That's portrayed by, we think, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. So that storyline's going to carry on. But I think at some point tonight, we get Styles talking about his Crown Jewel opponent. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Now, before we move on to the next name on this countdown list, a reminder, this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our great affiliates. That includes NordVPN. You can see them in the sidebar right there. You'll be able to see them in the video description below. They'll also be pinned in the comment section. And tonight's Monday Night Raw is on Netflix. Now, if you're in the United States, you watch it on Netflix, but also over here in the UK and in other international territories, we not only watch Raw on Netflix, we watch SmackDown, we watch NXT, we watch developmental PLEs, we watch main roster PLEs. Yes, we don't have to go over to USA Network, the CW, Peacock, ESPN, or anything like that. No, it's all in one place, and you can do that too. All you have to do is scan the QR code right there, click the link in the video description below or pinned in the comment section, If you're in the United States, you can get up to 77% off plus 3 months extra free. Then you have the ability to change your location to an international territory like here in the UK and watch all of your WWE content via your Netflix subscription. Right, let's move on and talk about these heel teases that we continue to see from Jey Uso. Now, it seems really unlikely, doesn't it? You've got Jey Uso, a guy that is one of the most popular stars on the roster. He gets a huge reaction. His entrance is so popular that they replay it and they do it again. He sells a ton of merchandise. But in recent weeks, we've seen a bit of a heelish side to the former World Heavyweight Champion, haven't we? We've seen him have issues with LA Knight. We've seen him kind of embrace his sort of Roman Reigns-esque tribal chief leader side, which Jey Uso's twin brother Jimmy keeps pointing out, you sound a lot like Roman Reigns there. And as this feud with The Vision continues to go on, we've seen him get very frustrated, very angry with certain situations and certain happenings. And tonight on Raw, could we continue to see the same? Because the Usos, in a rematch from WWE WrestlePalooza, are teaming up once again to face off against the Vision's Bron Breakker and Big Bronson Reed. Of course, it was the Vision who were victorious at the WrestlePalooza PLE. And the question is, will the Usos, arguably considered one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, will they get their win back this evening? Will they be the ones to leave victorious? Or will we see a situation where once again the Usos lose to the Vision's Reed and Breakker? Of course, the difference from the WrestlePalooza match is at WrestlePalooza, LA Knight was the special guest referee. Will it stop LA Knight from getting involved this time? Time will tell. I think the Vision win this one, and I think that the heel teases continue. I don't think ultimately Jey Uso is going to turn heel. I think if you had to rank which names are more likely to turn heel, I think you'd probably look at LA Knight being the top of the list. They might flip him to being a heel despite his popularity. He got over being a heel in the first place when he was first called up to the main roster, not as Max Dupree, but after he went back to the LA Knight character. Then maybe you could say Jimmy Uso could turn heel, but Jimmy Uso turning heel by turning on his brother, that's been done in 2023. Why they would do it again, I don't know. I think the likelihood of Jey Uso turning heel is very, very small, but I guess you never know. But I think the teases, maybe the misdirection, will continue tonight on Raw. Next, could we see WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton appear live tonight on Monday Night Raw? Well, I certainly think it's very much a possibility. Now, the reason I think it's a very real possibility is we saw last Friday night on SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton retained the WWE Women's Championship. She defeated Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. A pretty controversial match for a variety of reasons. One being that Jade Cargill, of course, suffered that big cut. There's been heat on Nia Jax and her in-ring style once again. Also, there was the botched finish whereby it looked like either Cargill or Stratton, I forget which one it was. Was it Nia Jax? Someone forgets to kick out. Someone forgets to kick out. The ref then pulls the count, and then Stratton goes into the finish with the prettiest moonsault ever, and everyone was kind of like, that was a very big botch. What was that finish? So it was a controversial match, but it was really the post-match stuff that was the most important there, which was Stratton retaining the Women's Championship. Who was she confronted by, as we predicted in our SmackDown Major Surprises video last Friday? Tiffany Stratton was confronted by the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer. Now, one would think, considering their confrontation Friday night on SmackDown, no words on the microphone anyway were exchanged. Perhaps that will change this evening. Perhaps we will see Stratton and Vaquer face off once again ahead of their match at Crown Jewel for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Maybe we will see a war of words between the two Women's World Champions of WWE. So I think we could probably see maybe Stratton appear and confront Vaquer. Maybe a surprising kind of situation. Now, Stratton is not advertised for Raw, and Stephanie Vaquer, she's not officially scheduled. She'll be on the show. So I would think that Tiffany Stratton appears and confronts her opponent for Crown Jewel Perth for that Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Now we know that match between the two is official. Next up, Dirty Dom, he's defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship this evening. He's a dual champion now, remember. Not only does the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio hold the Intercontinental Championship, of course he won that at WrestleMania, but he's also the AAA Mega Champion, and he's going to be defending that championship next month against Dragon Lee. But tonight he defends his WWE IC title against the Bulgarian brute Rusev. Now on paper, you would say this one feels pretty lopsided, doesn't it? Rusev could dominate Dirty Dom, and maybe Rusev will win the Intercontinental Championship, and then Rusev spins off that into a feud with Sheamus, and that's how Sheamus is going to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think that Dirty Dom holding the Intercontinental Championship, there have been rumors that one of John Cena's final matches could be against Dominic Mysterio. And with that in mind, maybe they could have a situation whereby one of Cena's final matches is for the championship he's never won before. He's never won the Intercontinental Championship, right? That would certainly add some stakes onto one of John Cena's final bouts, is that maybe he could end his career with one thing that he's never had, that being the Intercontinental title. So I don't think that Dominic Mysterio loses his title here. I think he retains, and I think there is a concerted effort by WWE to continue to build up and protect Dominic Mysterio. The reason being is that he seemingly is kind of going to be the face of AAA, or TKO / WWE's version of AAA, being their top champion. He only just won the title. I don't see AAA's top champion losing his title on Raw. Furthermore, as I mentioned, there has been rumors of this possible match against John Cena happening in the future. And if that really does happen, then they're going to go out of their way to have Dom maybe beat bigger, more powerful people to continue to establish him as a credible top-tier talent that can compete in the main event against talents like, you know, your John Cena's. Of course, before Brock Lesnar's hiatus back in 2023, it was reported that Brock Lesnar was going to face Dirty Dom at Elimination Chamber. Ironically enough, that was taking place in Australia. The reports was that Brock was going to be in the 2023 Royal Rumble. There was going to be a 2024 Royal Rumble, and there was going to be Dominic Mysterio eliminating him, and then Brock would go after Dirty Dom, and their match would take place at Elimination Chamber in 2024 in Perth as well. So I think Dom retains his championship this evening, probably by nefarious outside means, whether it be the Judgment Day, whether it be, like I said, Sheamus still getting involved with Rusev. There's lots of different potential ways that this one could go, but I think Dirty Dom retains his title. And finally, do we get an appearance from the American Nightmare, the undisputed WWE champion, that being Cody Rhodes? We've seen him, of course, go face-to-face with Seth Rollins on multiple occasions as we get closer to WWE Crown Jewel Perth. Now, of course, we saw Rhodes on SmackDown, his brand Friday, and we saw The Vision, Bron Breakker and Big Bronson Reed there with Paul Heyman trying to attack the American Nightmare. That was when Randy Orton came to the save of the WWE champion. And perhaps we have Cody Rhodes appear tonight. Maybe he gets involved in the match between the Usos and the Vision. Maybe he and Randy Orton both get involved, and maybe they cost the Vision the match against the Usos, and the Usos do get that victory, despite maybe the heel teases we see from Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes has got history with, of course, the Usos from the time of him feuding with the Bloodline, but also during his time as one half of the Undisputed Tag Team Champions alongside Jey Uso. Of course, that took place back in 2023. So there's a lot of history there. It's a way to get back at the Vision, and also you expect Seth Rollins to be appearing tonight on WWE Monday Night Raw, considering it's his brand. So it's a way for Rhodes to get at the Vision and their leader, because he knows exactly where they're going to be. They're going to be live on Monday Night Raw to that and tonight. And of course, Cody Rhodes, he's QB1 for WWE. So I think any excuse that WWE has to get Cody Rhodes on their flagship show, that being WWE Monday Night Raw, in front of arguably their biggest audience, that being Netflix, they're going to do. So I wouldn't be too shocked if the American Nightmare, the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes, appears live tonight on Monday Night Raw as we get closer and closer to WWE Crown Jewel Perth, where of course Cody will be facing Seth Rollins for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship, a championship which Cody Rhodes is technically defending, considering he won the championship last year when he faced off against Gunther at Crown Jewel. So that giant championship, I wonder if Cody Rhodes will wear that at Crown Jewel, or if that will just be there once again. We'll have to wait and see as we get close to that, but of course we will be doing a watch along and a post show for that PLE too. So there you go, guys. There are 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. What are your thoughts on that list? Which ones are likely, unlikely? Have I missed anything off that list? What are your thoughts on Raw at the moment as well, amid some, shall we say, criticism of Triple H's booking and creative in WWE? Let me know your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As you can see right there, we're getting closer and closer to our goal of 25k in 2025. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And remember, one more time, you can get NordVPN up to 77% off plus 3 months extra free. All you got to do is scan that QR code, click the link in the video description. It'll be pinned in the comment section, and you can save yourself some money. You can support the channel, and you can watch all of your WWE content with your Netflix subscription. Doesn't get better than that. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.